You know when you prestige in Call of Duty for like half a second, it feels like you lost everything you worked for? All your guns, your classes, your progress, gone. But then you realize that's actually the next step forward. You had to reset to keep progressing. Life isn't all that different. Okay, maybe comparing life to Call of Duty is a little cheesy, but hear me out. Hey, Respawn1 here. For the past 7 months, I've been learning what it really means to start over, and what I realize is starting over isn't nearly as scary as we make it out to be. About 7 months ago, I moved from my home state all the way to North Carolina for an opportunity. It was the first time I'd lived anywhere besides the place I'd called home for 23 years. I was over 800 miles away from everyone I knew, in a state I never visited before. I barely knew anything besides the basics. Honestly, it was terrifying. Everything was unfamiliar, new people, new routines, new surroundings. It felt like I had hit the reset button on my life. But after a while, something changed. I started adjusting. Then I started growing. I found myself doing things I never would have done back home. I started getting out more, trying new experiences, and slowly becoming someone I actually liked a little more every day. That's when it hit me. Most of us avoid starting over because we think the unknown is automatically a bad thing. We convince ourselves it's a big leap where we don't know where to begin. We stay exactly where we are, not because we're happy, because we're comfortable. I've learned that letting go of that constant what if mindset changes everything. What if I fail? What if I don't fit in? What if I made the wrong decision? Those questions kept me stuck for years. The reality is the universe isn't sitting there waiting for you to fail. Sometimes you just have to trust yourself enough to take the first step. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still pretty introverted. If you ever met me in person, you'll probably notice within the first 5 minutes. I used to avoid conversations whenever I could because I always felt socially awkward, and honestly, I still do sometimes. But moving forced me to grow. If I never left home, I genuinely think I'd still be living that exact same life, hiding behind that exact same excuse, and never giving myself the chance to become someone different. That's actually one of the reasons why I started this channel. Obviously, I grew up watching Call of Duty commentaries, and I always loved that style of content. But beyond that, this channel gives me a place to share the lessons I'm learning while I'm figuring life out. Maybe something I say helps someone who's going through the same thing. If you ever looked at my channel bio, you'll see a quote from the late Robin Williams. There's no shame in failing. The only shame is not giving things your best shot. That quote has always stuck with me because it's true. Failing isn't what holds us back. Never trying is. Starting over isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. Sometimes you have to lose what's familiar before you discover who you're capable of becoming. So if you're standing at the edge of a new job, a move, a relationship, a dream you've been putting off, or just a fresh start, take a leap, because you might look back one day and realize that the moment you thought you were losing everything was actually the moment your life finally started moving forward.